I used to read on the subway. Now I can't think with the horde of passengers coming and going. Their movements distract me. Since the drinking started, the morning world does not allow for concentration. Today, the hangover is bad, and every leg that brushes mine brings on a wave of nausea. Every voice is garbled in the subway din. I gag, just a little, and taste the rice wine. Thank God I got a seat. Groaning, I lean to pull my wallet from my back pocket. I fish through the remaining singles and pull a mostly wrapped stick of gum from its hiding place in the gritty folds. I hope it'll help, but it only serves to make my mouth water. I swallow my spit and gag again. Damn it! I will not be the guy who barfs on his shoes. Not today. I check my watch. 30 minutes left of the 45-minute commute to my place, then an hour before my shift at Luna Park. Hopefully, Nick will switch with me today, so I can run a water ride. I know my head won't tolerate the music of my usual gig at the carousel. Just thinking of the carousel tunes and screaming sticky kids make me feel worse. I fold forward, head on arms on knees. My pants, of course, smell like rice wine. Here it comes, I think. There's no stopping it now. My back arches and with a heave, I attempt to lean forward and miss my shoes. In the millisecond before I go, a white styrofoam cup appears in my mouth. My vomit hits the clear liquid at the bottom and splashes up into my cheeks, but it doesn't make it to the floor or my clothes. The cup slides away and a napkin appears. I wipe my lips and detach a line of drool from my chin. I toss the napkin onto the floor and look to my right. There she is, my hangover fairy. She's wearing a simple white dress, brown hair pulled back to reveal a plain but sweet face. I mumble a thank you and she nods with a smile. Sympathetic. Though I have a feeling she's never been in my current position. I noticed that she had tucked the cup of vomit between her shoes, which look more like ballet slippers to me. She talks a little. I don't mind. Since she seems to understand that I don't feel well enough to respond. She tells me about her plans for the day, but I don't really listen. I'm distracted by the hem of her dress. It crept up a few inches when she crossed her legs, and now rests halfway up her thigh. I feel a telltale stirring in my pants. Bad timing there. How old is this girl? Does she even know what I'm thinking? I'm guessing she doesn't. I'm guessing she feels sorry for me. Also, I'm not quite dirty enough to be scary, and I'm good looking enough to make up for my disheveled state. At least a little. She's naive. It adds to the attraction. She pulls a water bottle from her miniature backpack that I hadn't noticed before. She hands it to me and says she can get another later. Having purged the worst of my sick, I find that the water helps. I can sit all the way up. I wipe sweaty hair from my damp forehead and give her a smile. I'm a mess, I said. Rough night. She actually pats my shoulder when she says, "It's okay. Glad I can help." I'm feeling better by the moment. I mention that my stop is next, and as fortune would have it, she's getting off there too. Something about babysitting for a cousin. She exits the car in front of me, and I can smell her perfume. It doesn't make me sick. It's subtle and pleasant, like the rest of her. Once out of the subway station, I make a small misstep and stumble. She catches this, and suddenly a cool hand is on the back of my arm. "You were right. You're a mess," she whispers with what sounds like genuine concern. Let me walk you home. I am suddenly concerned that I am asleep and she's only the deus ex machina in my alcoholic-soaked nightmare. Just as I'm fully convinced that this can't be happening, she pulls me up. Her hand remains against my skin, reminding me of reality. I tell her she's an angel. I tell her my address in a handful of blocks. We're there, and she's climbing the stairs behind me. Maybe you should call into work today. You need to rest. She grins, adding, and take a shower. I allow myself to laugh as I unlock the door to my shitty apartment. You're probably right, I say through thin embarrassment. You can come in if you want. I turn around and our faces are too close and I can see that she's nervous. I'm sorry that was inappropriate. Thank you for everything. The blush spreading across my face seems to alleviate her nerves. I have to go, but I think I'd like to give you my number. She reaches into that little backpack again and pulls out a pink business card. It's for my Etsy shop, she explains, fumbling. I make these flower headbands and, Her entire face reddens. She closes her eyes, takes a breath. I watch her struggle through her own moment of embarrassment before finishing. Anyway, it has my number on it. When she opens her eyes, she glances not at me but behind me, through my now open apartment door. Oh! She exclaims. I turn to see what caught her eye, and I'm immediately reminded of what I was doing last night, pre-blackout, before I hit the subway and headed across town for late-night food and way too much alcohol. My kitchen floor is covered in plastic, and on it lays a thin, pale body. Her skirt is hiked up, and gore cakes every inch of her skin. The knives are still out, scattered on the stovetop, blood splattered on the cabinets. I hadn't noticed that. Sloppy. I'm usually on top of cleanup. I had obviously drank too much, but I already knew that from this vicious hangover. Thank God I remembered to shower before leaving home. The girl is standing in the doorway, taking it all in, eyes widening. I watch it register on her face that she's currently in danger. That she has walked a madman home. That she did everything wrong, that she should escape now. I grabbed her by the hair and slammed her head into the doorframe. Delicate as she is, that's all it takes. I pull her in and toss her on the floor beside the other. If I untie the dead one, I can reuse the rope. Good thinking. I pop 2 aspirin and chase them with a swig of cheap brandy. From the still open bottle on the counter. A while back, I started to feel bad about the girls. The drinking helps. Ghouls, I hope you enjoyed this short story. Sorry it's so short, just a bunch of shit going on right now. Nothing bad per se, just a bunch of stuff all at once. But I really enjoyed this one. It kind of reminds me of Dexter. If you haven't seen, the show Dexter about the serial killer, it's kind of what it reminded me of, especially when at the end where like the plastic's laying everywhere. Let me know if you've seen that before, because I really like it, and I think I'll probably rewatch it now because now I remembered how good that show was, and now I want to rewatch it. So there's that. Let's see. Question of the day. Besides, did you see Dexter? Is there any other like gory shows that you like to watch? Like Dexter, it's not gory, but it's kind of like messed up, and it's weird because it gets you to root for like the serial killer guy because he's like killing bad guys, and you're like, yeah, man, that's fine, but like he's killing people. You know what I mean? Let me know what your favorite like weird twisted TV show is. But as always, ghouls, the last video will be on the top left. The next video will be on the bottom left. All my social media is on the screen as well as in the description box below. And remember, there's always someone or something watching you.